Alright, so we have the Perrysmith. This is a 150 grams of bread maker. This was purchased sa Lazada, no, Shopee ni Wifey. So, this has um, several functions. So, you will see here, nakasulat naman siya. And what you will need to do is identify kung anong klaseng bread ang gagawin mo. It does have what you call the menu. So, meron siyang recipe book na kasama siya sa kanya. And this also has two, if I'm not sure if you can see it, meron siyang dalawang paddle. So, one, two. There are two paddles. Unlike the conventional bread maker that you will see na isa lang ang paddle sa loob, this has two. So, when you um, use the bread maker the first time, kailangan mo muna siyang preheat. So, what it does is parang ipaprime niya yung coil sa loob, and it will help in um, removing any chemicals that might have been there during the time of production. So, kasama na rin dun yung loaf pan sa loob. So, aside from that, so it comes with um, yung guide niya, user's manual. So, ito siya. And then, meron din siyang recipe book. So, if you want to pause, you'll have your recipe book. Yan. And aside from that, meron din siyang measuring spoon. So you have your tablespoon, and then you have your teaspoon. And then meron din siyang measuring cup, which is this one. So it comes with the cup basis, and it also have yung ml, so you won't be lost. So kung gusto nyo ng English system, you can use it. Kung gusto nyo naman ng metric system, you can also use it. And then meron siyang hook. So ito, this comes with, or this is two uses. So you can use it to pick up the handle kasi mainit siya. And then later on, kasi nga, yung bread ninyo would, when it bakes, this will get stuck inside. So, gagawin ninyo, gagamitin nyo to, and then, parang dudukutin nyo siya. Yan. Dudukutin nyo siya, and then, you're gonna pull it out. So, ganun. Ganun siya. Right? So, yun ang use na itong hook na to. So, dalawa yung uses niya. So, I don't normally recommend the recipes that is included with the bread maker. Although, okay naman siya, but we have a go-to bread recipe. I'm gonna post the link down below kasi kay yeast mode ko siya nakita. Yun ang ginagamit ko. And you have your ingredients here, which I'm gonna show you. So, we have yung 400 grams ng all-purpose flour, 60 ml ng oil. You can use any cooking oil, kayong bahala. And then we also have 240 ml of water. Hindi na siya kailangang warm kasi it will all be done by the bread maker. I'm gonna show you how. And then we also have yung yeast, which is 6 grams. And we also have sugar. You can use white sugar, but we're using raw sugar. This is 50 grams. And then salt, baka hindi nyo nakikita, this is salt. And this is 3 grams. So simple 6 ingredients that we will be using later on. Alright, so now I'm going to show you kung paano siya ilagay sa bread maker. Okay? Alright, so first thing first, you're gonna put your water inside, and then yung sugar, it's recommended that you put it on the side. So, lagay nyo lang siya. And then, yung salt, ganun din. Lagay nyo lang sa side. Sa corner. If you like it. So, yan. Pusin lang natin. Sayang. And then, yung oil natin. Ilagay na rin natin siya dyan. So, sama-sama lahat siya. And then, after nun, you put in your flour. Right, so dahan-dahan lang ang palagay ng flour. You can use yung measuring spoon ninyo para ilagay yung flour. You can use the long side of the pan para hindi masyado matapon. Alright. And then, you can actually put a little well to sa gitna. And that's where you can put your yeast. So some would like to cover the yeast. Kayong bahala. Anong tip ninyo. Hindi ko kayo guguluhin. But yes, you can also do that. Yan. Medyo makalat lang siya kung minsan. Kasi nga, you have to put everything all together sa loob ng space na yan. So that's one thing that you should be careful of. So medyo bago pa lang to sa amin. I still don't have mastery. Ika nga kung paano mo siya ilalagay ng maayos. Alright, so now, normally if you're gonna use yung recipe book, it will tell you to use the white loaf because yun ang recipe natin. White loaf, kung makita mo dyan, meron siyang mode, which papakita ko. So, you'll have your mode. Makita mo dyan yung mode. Ito yung time, hours, and then minutes. And then kung gaano kabigat yung dough na ginawa ninyo. So, I'm actually using the 1 kilo of dough. So, we're gonna use 100 grams later. So, meron siyang different phases. So, may delay time. If ever you wanna time it for later, you can do that. You can use the timer. It will have an increment of about 10 minutes. So, and maximum of 15 hours according to dun sa instruction manual. So, we're gonna not use the delay time, but it has need 1, rise 1, need 2, rise 2, rise 3, then bake, and then keep warm. Right? And then, you can cycle through yung mga different modes niya by pressing on the menu. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, for me, hindi ko siya ginagamit yung white loaf. I'm gonna show you why later on kapag bake na tayo. But menu number 10 is actually leavened dough. So what it does is magni-need lang siya rice, rice, and then later on tatanggalin natin siya, remove natin yung dough hook, tapos babalik natin siya dito sa loob. And then what we're going to do is we are actually going to let it form natin yung dough. Kasi one of the things that I noticed kapag ginagamit nyo yung one-step process nito, medyo lopsided yung dough. Uneven siya, hindi siya yung actual square na nakita nyo. Sometimes medyo mababa yung isang side, which I'm gonna show you some pictures later on. Siguro insert ko dito yung picture dito banda. Right, dito banda insert ko yung picture ng nung dough, nung bread na nagawa na natin previously. So makikita niyo doon na medyo parang uneven, mataas yung isang side, mababa yung isang side. So we want to avoid that, kaya gagawin natin to. And we're gonna use the knead function, so it's going to time itself mga 1 hour 50, pero kasama na dun yung rice 3. Siguro babalikan natin siya bago siya mag rice 3, rice 2. And then, i-form natin yung dough. Papakita ko sa inyo kung paano gawin yon. And then, bake natin siya. Alright, so I'm gonna stop right here, and then I'm gonna go and show you later kung paano nagmi-mix yung ating bread maker. So once you're ready na, you can press on start here, and makita nyo, open ko to, makita nyo, nagmi-mix na yung dough niya. Ayan. And then later on, I'm gonna grab a spatula, scrape ko yung mga bandang gilid-gilid niyan kasi meron kuminsan mga bits and pieces na hindi nakukuha uh, ng ating bread maker, and we will make sure na nakuha lahat yun. I'm gonna pause back and get back to you. So like what I've mentioned, meron times na nandito sa taas, so you'll have to scrape it off. So meron pa yan dito sa gilid, so you really have to make sure na sasama siya. Ayan. So we'll leave it there like that and go back to it. Siguro pag nasa rice 2 na siya. And then take out the dough and form it as a actual white bread dough, right?
A few moments later.
Okay, so currently it is now on rice 2. So what we're going to do while it's in this mode, we're gonna remove it from the pan and also remove the dough hook. Right, so let me do that right now. Gonna remove the dough hook. What I've noticed is that this is a bit more sticky than what I normally would. Right? So you notice that the dough hook is in the pan, so that's what usually would happen if you bake it, right? So let me just put it in the silicone mat here and transfer all of the dough, and we're gonna mold it into what a proper loaf should be, right? So I'm gonna show you another technique that I learned from Chef RV Manabat, wherein he puts oil instead of adding additional flour, because adding additional flour would make the dough more chewy, right? So give me a sec, let me just grab the oil, right? Right, so I have removed the 2 dough hooks, right? And we're gonna form this loaf into a rectangular shape, and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna fold it or roll it into a log and then put it back in the bread maker, right? So we're gonna spray your hands with oil, right? And then use that so that you can form the dough into a rectangular shape, probably big enough for it to fit the dough pan, or the bread pan rather. I keep on saying dough, but you know what I mean. It's there you go. So we have now a rough rectangular shape that I think would really fit the bread pan. So now what we do is roll this into a log, right? So as tight as you can, so that it will coil it in itself, right? I'm using the silicone mat so that it won't stick, and it will, lessen the time for me to clean up. So you want to pinch the edges here like that and put it inside the bread pan, right? So I'm gonna show you that real quick. Right, so there, and then we're gonna let it rise, and then after it finishes the rise, we're gonna set the timer here for bake. Actually, we can actually do that right now. I'm gonna stop here. You will hear an audible beep like that, and then you want to set the color to light because we want to make it the white bread, but you'll later see that it's not really light in color. It will take on a more brownish color, and then we can set the timer and delay this for about an hour. Again, it has an increments of 5. Forget what I said about increments of 10 minutes per pressing the timer. So you want to delay it for 1 hour, and it's set for 14 on bake. So it will wait an hour or count down for 1 hour before it starts baking. So let's start that timer now, and then we'll get back to it after an hour.
2,000 years later.
Alright, so after an hour, this is how it would look like, and it will now start baking for 1 hour. So we wait for an hour before it finished. So you would see how, it's not that perfect, but it's I would have to say better than if you let the bread maker form itself. Right, I'll get back to you guys after 1 hour.
One eternity later.
Alright, so after an hour, magbibip siya, and then ito na, magki-keep warm na lang siya. So, want to stop, wala siyang automatic off. So, naka-on lang siya palagi. So, you have to pull it out of the plug para mamatay siya. Right? So, you will use yung low hook. Ito yung hook na to to pry off the handle. Tapos, you're gonna use yung mga gloves mo, yung if you have oven mittens, pwede siya para mabasahan, pwede rin. So, kunin mo lang siya. And then, meron siyang keep warm function, pero ayaw mo siyang gamitin kasi nga masyado siyang mainit at magkakaroon ng moisture sa ilalim. So after nun, we take it off and then we transfer the bread over to a cooling rack like this one. So let's show you how it's done. Alright, so andito na siya ngayon. So pagawin lang natin, since wala na siyang dough hook sa ilalim, so dali siyang tanggalin. So i-invert mo lang siya ng konti. Dali na siyang ilabas kasi so yan, karoon siya ng butas sa ilalim, and that's pretty much normal. And then mainit lang siya ng konti, but you can actually turn it over. So yan. So kapag sabi ko kanina, yung light niya it's not really that light, medyo mainit siya talaga, maitim siya talaga, the light version. So imagine nyo na lang kung naging medium yan or dark, so mag-iba lalo yung kulay niya. So I'm gonna let this rest probably for about 20 minutes or so. Tapos meron tayo ditong this is cake holder, pero as you can see, almost ka-size nito. Once it's already cooled, palagay natin siya dyan and the kids could enjoy it. Alternately, pwede mo siya lagyan ng butter and then put salt in it, or on it rather. So pero gusto ko ng mga bata yung as is, where is. So ito na yung finished product natin. So after mga 2 hours or 3 hours, ganito na yung kalalabasan niya. So imagine niyo yun, you can actually delay yung timer kapag mag-bake kayo. So set it up probably bago kayo matulog. The maximum delay is 15 hours. So by the time na magising kayo, okay na yung pagkain and yung bread, and meron na kayong kakainin pagkagising ninyo. Imagine waking up to the aroma of newly baked bread. So napakabango niya dito ngayon sa bahay, and I guarantee you napakasulit bilhin ng bread maker, especially the Perrysmith. I'll put down the link later on kung saan nabili ni Mrs. and how much namin siya nabili. So, is it worth it? I guess so. Lalo na kapag meron kayong anak na mahilig sa tinapay, you don't have to buy bread. Probably later on, you may want to watch as to magkano yung tinapay, yung gastos namin sa kuryente. I haven't really tried, but what I usually do to help it out, cover it with cloth, to help it out, absorb the moisture and let it cool down. I don't want to open it up right now kasi nga masyado siyang mainit. So let's cool it down a bit and then I'll show you what it looks like.